Well, hello and well met again, brothers, sisters, and squires alike. And I promised you all that I would show you how to make the Shulker Box farm. And here it is. Uh, I know it doesn't seem like it's much to look at right now, and it's kind of noisy, so I have them turned way down, but we'll get right into it. And for the sake of time constraints, this is a copy of my survival world made in creative now. And this is a big project when you set out to do it. So obviously you have to come to the end, and you'll have to have defeated the dragon, and you'll have to find one of these. After you defeat the dragon, one of them will just pop up. You want to look above the surface a little ways and build yourself a platform up here, and uh, just throw an Eye of Ender through it. You can also build yourself a water tunnel and swim through it. That's a little bit cheaper, and it doesn't have the risk of like missing and throwing the Eye of Ender off into the void and teleporting yourself to doom. But anyways, as you can see, we have a lot of rails here. If you're lucky, you can take them all out of a mine shaft that you find, and that will save you a lot. I have an iron farm, and sticks are fairly easy to come across, so I was able to build quite a few of these without a problem. But this could be pretty resource intensive, especially in a newer world, and you would need obviously a lot of time and effort. So what you'll end up doing is you're going to find yourself an end city. Don't worry, they're not that difficult to find, and they're lit up fairly well, so they're pretty easy to see usually if you have your render distance turned way up. Otherwise, wander around, you'll see one. Oh, um, the other reason for saving time, or the other I guess point for saving time, is I'm doing this on peaceful mode. This may be a lot harder for you to do. Well, obviously, it's going to be a lot harder for you to do. So make yourself some slow fall potions and take all of your valuables off. Don't do not wear your valuable armor while you're doing this and building out over the void, because if you fall in, all of your stuff is lost with no chance of saving it. Anyway, so the easiest way to get this done, survival or creative mode, is to build right up to one of our little friends here. These shulkers will fire bullets at you that will cause you to levitate, and that's why you need slow fall potions, because when that wears off, you fall immediately, many blocks down, and you will either take a lot of damage from the falling, because you can fight a shulker way up there on top, and drop like a stone. But anyway, dramatics aside, what we do is we find one of these shulkers, and you build right up to it. This is creative mode. I don't need to save my tools. And you'll build a rail right up next to it. And then we'll get ourselves a minecart. Just a plain old minecart. And in he goes. As long as you get it pretty close, they just naturally bump in there. And you can give them a push. Obviously, like I said, make sure that you're very careful not to lose your valuables in the void. But while they're in the minecart, I don't think they can. Well, then. That was silly of me. We'll just do this for demonstration purposes. And to get started, give our buddy a little push here. Away he goes. It's the ride of his life. We'll follow him along. And depending on how far you have to go, to get our little shelled friend here over to where we're going to farm him for shulker boxes, you may end up having to give it another push or two, or putting in some powered rails, but that's also more expensive because those cost gold and redstone dust. So, you know, it's up to you how you want to make this happen. Transporting your shulker. We're losing him. We'll give him a kick. But here, what I would like to do is actually stop him from getting all the way to this farm. As you can see, I've got my rails still built up out here. You need to build this out of glass, or uh, leaves will work as well. But we'll show you very quickly how to do one of these. Find yourself a good edge to start with, and we're going to go, I think probably, how many is this out from this edge here? 17 blocks it looks like. All right. Alright, so we've gone 40 blocks here. I believe a shulker can teleport up to 16 blocks. Maybe not even that far. So just build yourself a long glass way here. This is also another good reason to have slow fall potions. If you do have an elytra and some fireworks, and you slow fall off of your edge here, you would have a minute to catch yourself before you do fall into the void, because the void will kill you very quickly, and like I said, you do not get a chance to get your things back. Once they fall in the void, it's all over. You'll never see it again. Goodbye, diamond pickaxe. See, we can fly down here, and you see some water that I used earlier. I'll show you all about that in a moment, but that pickaxe is nowhere to be seen. We can float all the way down here to the bottom. No pickaxes. Well, that gets oppressive just to hang out there, doesn't it? Anyway, on with the show. So, once you make it all the way out here, in fact, let's do a few more just to be sure. I think we're far enough away, but we can go a little farther. Make sure you just have tons and tons of glass for this project. And then we're going to need a bucket of water. This is going to be the part that is most difficult in a survival world. So we're going to do that. And you're going to, well, hold on. Let me stop flying here a second so you can see how it really works. You'll float off the edge. Don't throw yourself into the void entirely. Oh, we went a long ways there. And come to this bottom side here of your glass trailway. Oh, that's like having night vision on. And go down a few blocks. Hop out. Boy, I really don't like the new water noises, but that's me. Alright, so the reason we use glass is so that the shulkers cannot teleport to it, because that kind of functions the same way as spawnable blocks. You can use trapdoors, but that can get really difficult to aim and place. when you're trying to build this in survival mode and, you know, standing on a trapdoor and hoping that a shulker doesn't hit you. And you can see I've used trapdoors here on this one. They can't teleport on top of them and they can't teleport to the bottom of them. We put switches underneath there. But what we do now is okay, so we went down too many blocks. We only needed to do the one. But we'll take, like so, and place our chest. So we didn't need to go down quite so many. But I do want to try and keep this video a little bit shorter for the sake of respecting your time and keeping my videos concise. And we make a space. And then this is Bedrock Edition, so don't forget that you can't bridge directly in front of you in Java unless they've changed that recently. And grab ourselves just any old kind of fence post. You'll need it. You need to place it there. Place a hopper facing into the chest. Whoops. And put a bit of rail there. We're going to need a minecart with hopper. This one must be a minecart with hopper. And place it there and push it against that fence post, and then you can break the rail so it sits right there. Now we need 2 solid blocks. Those are going to be the places where our shulkers can sit. And then you can use a button here as well. You saw that I used levers on my last one, but buttons work just fine. You could even probably use a trapdoor and lean it, or open it, close it, whatever you might say, against the block so that it keeps them from teleporting to the side of the block, because shulkers can and will go side to side. It does not matter what flavor of trapdoor we use. So you'll do 2 trapdoors or 2 clear blocks. You could use glass there if you wanted. What we're going to do is then go 2 more where we're going to set our soul sand. Assuming that works. We may have to switch those to glass just to set soul sand on it. Here we are. Oh, that's going to work just fine. Now, it's important that we use 2. There are versions of this that you might find that say you can use just 1 block of soul sand, and that design of the farm will actually end up with the shulkers breaking themselves, or somehow one of your shulkers will end up dying. I think it's because they'll kill each other instead of killing themselves and then duplicating themselves. So what you need is to have the 2 blocks of soul sand to keep that from happening. That way, their shulker bullets, when they come back, don't hurt the other shulker. And I think that's what was going on with that design. I may be misspeaking or misrepresenting what I discovered of that design. I had one in the world previously, and it didn't work out super well. So you'll leave this front portion open, and in fact, we'll have to break that one and leave glass right there. And then you'll have to quickly place glass there when you move your shulker into position. Alright, you get the idea there. So we'll quickly run the rest of this. This works much better with glass because then you can see what you're doing, but it's not 100% necessary. Okay, again, buttons. Oh, I hope that the neighbor's vehicle isn't coming in through the speakers here. We're placing buttons there. Oh, right, we'll only need to do it on one side. It takes up that whole block. And then here as well. This will keep our water set right in here. And you want to fill it up entirely. Don't leave running water. So this video may run just a few minutes longer than usual, but not too bad. Alright. We need some snow. Because how else does one get snow golems? Carved pumpkins. And you can do it just like this. Stack up the snow here. And then as soon as you spawn the golem, he'll fall in. And the golems are not a very damaging force, so they won't ever break your shulkers for you. And I find it is easiest if you seal them in, just so no shenanigans take place. And what will happen, now, this is going to be the time-consuming part, so I'll try and do this quickly while I'm talking. We'll run this rail all the way over. Oh, I guess it's not too bad at all. We'll connect that up, and you'll have to do this twice, obviously, to get 2 shulkers. But they're not hard to find in the cities. Just listen. They blather at you a lot. And you build your rail over to them. Send them this way. You don't have to worry about them teleporting out of the cart and across the surface of the end here. That's not a big deal. So we'll set him right there. Your snow golems will immediately start having attitude at him. You have to very carefully target the corner of that. So, this part can be a pain since your golems are already hitting him. If you want to wait to build the golems, that's fine. Just be careful you don't build a path to make your golems and build on accident a place for your shulker to go. So you'll break that glass and quickly place a button. And then you're going to do the same thing again on that side. And that is really all there is to it for a shulker farm. Once you get done, build yourself some walkways and whatnot so that you can AFK to this farm. Oh, that was an extra one we did for counting. And all of your shulker shells will just fall into here. Now, this is a slow farm. You may have to AFK for an all-nighter or something while you sleep to get any significant amount. But it doesn't take maybe 2 or 3 stacks before you have tons of shulker boxes to take back to the overworld with you. So, seeing as our total contraption for item sorting kind of relied on shulker box loaders and unloaders, now you have that piece of the puzzle. And as you can see, this is really a simple farm. The biggest headache is collecting your shulkers, and it's time consuming also because you'll end up floating a lot of the time. And with slow fall on, it also makes it a slower descent back down to get to work. So keep that in mind. But really, this is a very simple farm, and you can do it. Since I mentioned that we should have some slow fall potions on hand, some of my upcoming videos are going to be potion making videos, like automatic potion towers to brew a certain kind of potion, and an automatic water bottle filler. So stay tuned for those. I must say, I've gotten a handful of new subscribers on YouTube and followers on Rumble, and many, many likes and views on the videos. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Uh, we will see you in the next one. And until then, this is White Sun Paladin signing off.